Welcome to another Practical Social Networking Minute on Twitter and integrating your social networks. I'm Jim Carrillo.
And I'm Ian Griffin.
And we're here to give you a taste of the content of our full 1 hour long webinar on Twitter and integration of your social networks.
Here's what you'll learn in the full class. We'll share what you need to do to get started on Twitter and why you should even bother. We'll talk about some Twitter tools to manage your tweets. Then we'll switch gears and review the last 4 classes and give you some tips for integrating all of the social media networks. Finally, we'll talk about how to use social networking to advance your brand beyond just the fun and games.
In a more specific look at the agenda, we'll talk about Twitter and tweeting, just the basics. Then we'll look at extending Twitter through some of the tools. Then we'll dive in to see how we can actually integrate our Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and even blogs. And then finally, most importantly, we're going to show you why you need to have a purpose when it comes to social networks. Although it could be just for fun, if you're looking to improve your business, you need a purpose. And then we'll touch on some of the practical applications that both Ian and I have implemented in our businesses.
Now, Twitter is probably the most misunderstood of the social networks. It's one of the newest, and people really don't realize all of the massive numbers of things you can do with Twitter. It's a micro-blogging platform limited to just 130 characters. Sounds limited, but look what people are doing. They're having group conversations at meetings and seminars. They're using it to find prospects. You can search the existing Twitter files that are out there. It's just an amazing personal branding tool. One thing I've done in my own Twitter stream is, as Cheshire Lad, I've been following now over nearly 1,400 people, and 1,300 people are following me. It's one way to use Twitter. You don't need to have a whole lot of followers. We'll discuss the advantages and disadvantages of both. We'll explain how you get into this and how you get a conversation going with 1,300 people. Sounds impossible, but it's not.
Then we'll take a look at my social networking Twitter account, and we'll have a no-holds-barred discussion about the differences that Ian and I both have. And you'll probably hear Ian make fun of the fact that I only have 48 followers.
Not quite as popular, Jim. Now, in the Java world, if those of you are computer programmers, there was a famous phrase, write once, run everywhere. When we talk about integrating social networks, we're a big believer in putting in your content into one area. Maybe it's your blog, maybe it's your Twitter account, maybe it's Facebook or LinkedIn, and have it reflect to the others automatically. So it's not 4 times the work if you're involved in 4 social networks. People in all your different communities will be able to follow you however they wish to connect. That's the wonderful advantage of leveraging social networks.
Then we'll leave you with one of the most important things about social networking, and that's don't confuse your customers. Give them a direction to follow so that way you can start leading them to the product or service that you have to offer.
So this has been a sample of the content that we share on Twitter and how to integrate different social networks in our full hour-long webinar, which will be the conclusion of the series on practical social networking. So if you know someone who's still lost in the hype of social networking and is looking for an easy-to-understand practical approach, have them sign up for our Practical Social Networking webinar series at www.socialnetworking101.biz and join in the social networking conversation.
Full details on all of our webinars are on the Practical Social Networking website. As an added bonus, we've created a social network just for learning about social networks. It's free to become a member, or you can just browse as a guest. It's a no-stress playground that can be used to practice your blogging, video posts, podcasts, and more. As a member of the social network, you'll also be able to ask questions and check out the answers to common social networking issues. As a guest, you can watch some of the videos we've loaded to answer your own questions.
And this has been another video in the Practical Social Networking Minute series. I'm Ian Griffin.
And I'm Jim Carrillo, and we look forward to seeing you online.